Well, good day, everybody. Thank you for coming to another episode of Send It ATV podcast. Today, I have a great guest from the UP of Michigan. It's a great riding area. It's incredibly beautiful, and if you have an opportunity to get up there, you need to check it out. So today, I happen to have the president of the Keweenaw ATV Club with us today, Mr. Daryl St John. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's very much a pleasure to have you on, and thank you so much for agreeing to meet with us today and tell your story and such.
Well, I'm looking forward to being able to put the information out about our club in our area and the great trails that we have, and whatever I can do to promote the club. I'm willing to answer any of your questions or tell you whatever any information that I have.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you're doing up there and all the hard work you're putting in. So why don't we tell me about when your club was formed and go from there.
Well, a group of guys up in the Keweenaw County, that's the northernmost county in Michigan, would get together and ride, kind of a casual club, but then they got concerned with the number of gates and restrictions, cables going up. So they formed a 503C, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a 503C.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Anyway.
That's okay.
And they pushed to get state designated trails. Now, it was an uphill battle because the club, the area, it's all private property. Most of the trails are already established in the state or on state or federal forest lands. But up in the Keweenaw, it's all private property. And they had to deal with a lot of property owners. They had to arrange for law enforcement, provide insurance, essentially establish the trail system and then turn it over to the state. The state would inspect, and if they liked it, they would designate it as a state trail, and that would allow us to apply for grant money for maintenance, repairs, and expansion.
Okay.
It was formed in 2004. And to date, we have roughly 165 miles of trails, both club and state sponsored, and we're looking to expand constantly. We've got a couple of new trails that we're working on. Again, we have to deal with private property owners.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, it took one trail took 8 years of effort.
Wow.
Putting together. But we have a very dedicated club. They're all volunteers, but very dedicated.
Mm-hmm. How many members would you say you have in your club right now?
We average about 265 a year. That's voting members, and we have commercial sponsors. I think right now we have over 45, but sometimes we're a sparsely populated area. So it's notable that we have such a high membership, both from individuals and businesses. That shows that we get tremendous support from our community.
Right.
And most people in the area, they understand the benefits of the trail system.
Mm-hmm.
We are a good tourist destination. Most of our riders that come up have been coming up for many years for snowmobiling.
Right.
And with the area, so now with the expansion into the ATVs and such, we get a lot of repeat business.
Oh, sure. Oh, awesome. Very good. How long, being the Upper Peninsula, I would imagine the snowmobiling season is pretty long, but how long is the ATV season?
Well, we run from May 1st to November 1st. Snowmobile ends around April 1st. That gives it about a month or so for the trails to dry up. Around November, we close the trails because we start into the deer hunting seasons and such.
Right.
And
okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, and then snowmobile picks up after that in December.
Right, right. Um, so how many you mentioned something about, a lot of private land and so forth. How many different landowners are you having to deal with in that area to have your trail systems?
Well, from the biggest towns in the area, cities, if you will, Houghton and Hancock area at the south to Copper Harbor up at the point, it's about a 50-mile stretch. Most of the trails are on uh, forest management property. This is a private company that harvests timber and maintains the land as a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's honesty. They're very good to us. They're very generous. They work with us. They help us develop trails. They help us keep the trails open. They help us with maintenance. And I guess 75% of our trails are on this company's property.
Wow.
We also have just between Houghton Hancock and Copper Harbor, at a 50-mile stretch, we have over 25 private individuals that we have agreements with.
Wow, that's great.
And this has to be renewed every year.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, and that brings one of our biggest concerns is people have to understand that these trails are on private property.
Yes.
And we can only cross the private property because of the generosity of the property owners. They can be closed at any time. Now, it's happened. Property owner gets upset, you're done. Now we have to find routes and more negotiating, and we do our best to try and keep the property owners happy. We find that by posting signs and educating people, that we get a 99% compliance, and we ask people to please stay on the trail, and especially in certain areas that are sensitive.
Right.
And the property owners are grateful for that, because if you don't give the people a trail, oftentimes they're going to go wherever they want. And ATVs, as you know, are really difficult to stop. So we work well together. We provided a well-signed, safe trail. And because of that, we get about 99% compliance.
That's great.
So
Great.
it works out well. I keep glancing over it. Oh, here we go.
No, you're good.
It says internet connection is unstable. Wonderful.
Well, good so far. We're looking good right now.
Okay.
We just need to reach that 1%, that's, maybe new to the riding world, and just be able to impress upon them the importance of following the rules, and then explain to them the why those rules are in place. And, if they can understand the magnitude of the why, they're more likely to comply,
Only recently we've had some issues with the logging companies where they understand the importance of the trails, and they work with us, and they want to keep the trails open. But often when they're logging in close proximity to the trails, we post signs, ask people to slow down, stay away from active logging. Well, we've had some issues where riders confronted the loggers and threats were made and such. So the loggers had no choice but to close the trail. Well, then the ATV Club gets all kinds of nasty phone calls and stuff. At any rate, it ran into the second year where, again, the loggers are going to keep the trail open through the season. It only lasted a couple of weeks. We posted signs asking people, please slow down, that you're on private property. Logging has the right of way. Well, we had machines coming at high rates of speed, power sliding around corners in the face of 90. These logging trucks up here are massive. They weigh around 90 tons fully loaded, and they can't go anywhere. They can't stop fast, they can't maneuver.
No.
We've had 3 incidences in 1 week, so the loggers again shut the trail. Now this upcoming season, we're hoping for better results. Again, more signs, more educating.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Facebook, we have our website. We're trying to get the information out there so people can understand it. A lot of people are under the impression that these trails are publicly owned. They're not.
Wow. Yeah.
Private property. We have to abide by the limitations that the property owners give us. We have areas up here that property owners don't want dirt bikes. ATVs and side-by-sides only, no big trucks. And that's the game that we have to play. We have
Sure.
to abide by their rules to be able to use their property.
Mm-hmm.
As far as maintenance and all goes, again, we have a very dedicated club. And when we first started out, had minimal trails. You can say maintenance day Saturday and have 20 people show up with machines. Well, when we have so many miles of trails now, what we did was we broke it up like Adopt a Highway.
Mm-hmm.
And other clubs could try this, where we have individuals or groups that take on a section of trail. Now, our office staff will make up booklets with the DNR forms.
Mm-hmm.
You have to cruise the trail twice a year, spring and fall, and do a maintenance ride. And it's a log. They record everything they do, repair signs, cut brush.
Yep.
And they record it. And it's all nice in pamphlets, booklet form. And they turn it in. Works really well. The trails sections run anywhere from 5 to maybe 15 miles, depending on terrain and location.
Mm-hmm.
It's been working well for us. So, like, again, we have some very dedicated people in this club.
That's great. What's something you've done to actually help you save money, with the club and, club money and that you've raised and so forth?
Well, in this area, in a Keweenaw, you're either on hard rock or you're in swamps. The trails can deteriorate rapidly, but you can't have a contractor out there constantly. We have to wait till a trail gets almost impassable before we submit for requests for bids, hire a contractor. And now you're looking, just what started out as a water hole, a mud puddle, is now 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. And now it's $5,000 to $7,000 to have a contractor go in and repair that. Well, what we've done through club funds, no state funding or anything, just donations and our membership money, we've purchased a grader. And we call him our grader at large. The operator's out there just cruising around. He does just light touch up and grading.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the gravel back in on the corners and touch up mud holes and such. And this allows the trails to go much longer before we have to spend the money on contractors. And it's been a great service for us.
That's
And
great.
we have that on our website. Like I said, this grader only operates on donations. So many people in the area understand that. So they're pretty generous with it.
That's great. That's great. What's one of the best ways that people can get involved with your club?
Well, we have a website. It's Keweenaw ATV Club.com. And we also have a Facebook page. Our vice president, she's in charge of communications and such. She runs the web page and such. And we have members from across the country that have joined. We get people that come up here to ride from Chicago, Indiana, Lower Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all over. And many people come up here, they enjoy it, so they join the club. Now, that's the biggest thing. Numbers count. When we go to the state, we want $80,000 to put a bridge in,
Right.
under a project. It's better if they see 260 people on the roster instead of 6.
Right. Sure. Certainly.
They're not going to give $80,000 to a handful of guys up in the Keweenaw, okay?
Yep.
Just numbers count. And I tell people you can get your name on the roster. You can come to a meeting every once in a while and put in your 2 cents. or you can just get actively involved in trail development and maintenance.
Hmm.
We span the whole gamut there. And a lot of people, they come up, they enjoy the riding. They After they leave, they go on our website and they'll donate a few bucks towards greater fund or whatever.
Right, right.
And it's all appreciated, every bit of it.
It's amazing how in these our clubs, basically, how far a dollar will go when we're all working together, and just obviously we want to donate more than a dollar, but you know typically clubs make it go a long ways, and then sometimes get matching with grants and such. You can get a lot of good stuff done and make the experience even more enjoyable for everyone. Mm.
We have a lot of contractors that we deal with, and they're all pretty generous also. Once they're awarded a contract, if a certain project requires 20 loads of rock, gravel, fill, whatever, and the
Mhm.
contractor sees, well, we could do a lot more with 25. They'll often donate like 5 extra loads, put in more hours, more equipment hours.
Uh,
They're fabulous. They really support the club, keep us moving.
that's awesome. That is awesome. Seeing everybody just come together for it.
Yeah, I belong to several organizations and clubs around the country over the years, and this club, this Keweenaw ATV Club, is by far the best organization I've ever been involved with. There's no internal politics or anything. Everybody works for the same goal,
Hmm.
and they're just a fantastic group.
That's great. That's great. Glad to hear it. On a lighter note and more fun, I always ask this question: what's one of your best ATV stories that makes you laugh today, or when you think about it?
Uh, that's a hard one. I mean, we all go out and ride for the enjoyment, for the scenery, for the challenge, for the navigation fun. But you don't get too much into the humor side of it, I guess. Other than the fact that we have a couple of uh, people that we do our maintenance rides spring and fall, and afterwards we like to do a club ride on a
Hmm.
board. And we got a couple of members that will lead these, and they know every rabbit track in the 2 county area. And they've even had me twisted up a few times where they just look at me and laugh because I have no idea where I'm at. Well, they're pretty good. And on some of these rides, we've had up to 90 machines. We average about 60.
That's a
And
lot of people on a ride.
oh, it sure is. And we have groups that'll meet us on the trail and feed the crew.
Hmm.
And it's just a fun day. It's just a lot of fun.
It does sound like a lot of fun.
We've had
Um,
people, they look forward to it. They watch our web page and our Facebook. And we've had people that routinely come up like from Wisconsin, Minnesota to be on these rides. So it's
yeah,
been a lot of
I
fun.
believe it. I believe it. Because what a place. What a place. Well, Daryl, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on today. And just so everybody knows, I'll make sure I put the links that Daryl mentioned in the description down below, so you can just click on those links and go check out their Facebook page. There's a lot of stuff going on, and definitely get involved in any way you can. That's all I can highly encourage. Daryl, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And
Well, thank you so much for helping me promote the club in our area. Everybody here appreciates your time.
uh, well, I can't mention it. I love the sport. I love everybody in it. And, just let's get out there, have fun. Let's be smart, stay safe, and, let's help sustain the sport in a healthy way, and just follow the rules. And if you don't agree to the rules, look for the why. That's my parting point, is look for the why the rule is in place, and it'll make a
Yeah.
lot more sense once you know that why. Oh,
Also, I got to mention one more thing. Our
oh, sure.
trails are very rugged up here. They're very rugged. We've had people come up expecting to see groomed, nice, sandy, soft trails. They don't exist up here, okay? We're not building those tracks. You need an ATV to ride up here. So come on up.
All right, we'll make it a point. So that's the challenge. Go up there and check it out. Thank you guys. Have a good day.